Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
BrainShare Business Mentors proudly presents BrainShare.us, the ultimate business education platform, delivering the proven systems, processes, tools, and knowledge that empower you to build the business of your dreams. With 13 high-powered courses encompassing over 240 lessons accessed online on your schedule. Running a business is the hardest thing you'll ever do. We've helped thousands of business owners gain the leadership, communication, and business skills needed to build the business of their dreams. We can help you. Choose your learning path. Scuba Squad is the premier membership program for today's business leaders with access to all BrainShare material and double our money-back guarantee. BrainShare Basics, the ultimate business framework course, a hard-hitting 13-week program to lay the necessary foundation to build the business of your dreams. Or take individual courses as you need them. Every course has dozens of lessons, with video, practical exercises, precise documentation, and the opportunity for direct feedback from a BrainShare mentor. All programs have our exclusive 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked, don't wait. Choose your path and start today.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. Doing business in life with a purpose, serving others, and achieving success. I'm your host, Steve Monop, and we created this show for you because we want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to learn how to do business and live life to make an impact in the world. How you serve today and what impact will you create today with that service that you do today, and try to do it every day. I want to thank my two sponsors, BrainShare.us. Build a business that works without you. Discover how to create a self-sustaining business that thrives even in your absence. You can have a business that doesn't tie you down. We'll guide you through the steps to build an enterprise that operates smoothly without your constant oversight. Visit BrainShare.us to learn how to set the foundations for a business that stands the test of time. With BrainShare Business Mentors, you can build a business that works without you. And in pitchdb.com, successfully connect with over 11,000 conferences and 3 million podcasts to be a guest to allow you to build your thought leader platform and scale and grow your business. Increase your network to increase your net worth. Now, I'm excited today because we're going across the ocean, and this is why I love podcasts virtually. You know, I'd have to get on a boat, get out there, or a cruise, but I'm going to Jamaica today. I'm not even going to do the accent because I can't do it. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Steve, for having me today. It's been a pleasure, you know, and even a couple of minutes ago when we were just catching up with each other, it's just been a blessing for me, Steve, and I really like the work that you're doing. You know, just traversing across borders and speaking with different people, serving. I think you're a servant at heart, Steve, the work that you're doing.
That. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I hope I'm rubbing off on other people, which I think I am. I know I've rubbed off on you a little bit and you've rubbed off on me, which is great. I want to jump in this conversation about your arm and the possible amputation. Tell that story. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I believe this story, Steve, is really what underscores who I am, and I'm not even sure if it's just destiny, if it was just there scripted already before it even happened. But I could remember, like, over a decade ago, I was on a job assignment here in Jamaica. I think it was 20 2010 or something like this. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was just that's on the other side of Jamaica in Ocherius. I'm not sure. I believe you should know about Ocherius, right? And so yeah, I was just driving, and out of nowhere, this bright light, you know, I tried to evade it, and every time when I tried to do that, I just realized that there's this bright light just in the middle of the road, and the road was kind of narrow, so there's no way for me to evade it any further. So yeah, I just swerve a little bit from it, and then what did we know? The car flipped. You know, yeah, I came out. You know, I helped the other person who was in the vehicle out of the vehicle, but then when I went across the road, I just realized that it was just skin holding up my right arm. You know, and to be honest, Steve, I didn't know, but at that time, I had so much goals and objectives for myself and for my family, for my community, you know, and this wasn't something that I had planned. And I thought that there is no way I was going to have that right arm, you know. And yeah, I kneeled down and I just started to cry. There was a neighboring community as well, and the persons there, I mean, they were all in shock. They've never seen something like this before, you know. Yeah, and just fast forward a little bit, I was helped to the nearest hospital in the area. That's a parish that in Jamaica that you call St. Catherine, because we have 14 parishes here. So St. Catherine is one of them. And when I went there, I mean, when I looked at the medical professionals, they were just all shaking their head. Like pretty much they were saying there's nothing that they could have done. You know, I was there for maybe like an hour or two. I was transferred from there to another hospital. That's one of the major hospitals here. I was there in a section waiting most of the night. There were other patients there. No one attending to me at the time. You know, I was there in pain. I was there with impurities in the arm. And I was there beside persons who were just literally crying, you know, because it was not a good sight, you know. What happened was I don't know where this will came from, you know, but I just got up and I said, and I believe this is just sheer resilience, and it's the resilience that is now allowing me to serve all these people across the world, you know, and the resilience in me that you know, show me the value of, you know, just helping people on a day-to-day basis, you know. And yeah, I just got up and I just started to walk. I said, okay, I'm gonna just walk away from the hospital. I'm just gonna walk away. I didn't even know where I was going. And then I could remember vividly this lady in the hospital. I'm gonna say it in part where she was saying, murder, murder. That's like in Jamaica, like it's like a cry for help, you know, because she saw what was happening. And then I was there at that moment. I just saw some of the medical experts. They came, and yeah, we started to have some conversations. And I remember, I think this person, he's in the top, one of the top tier medical experts here in the country. He shaked his head and he said to me, "Wow, I don't believe we can help your situation." And we got into an argument, Steve. This is not me, but again, maybe this was just a shared resilience in me. And I told him that, hey, I'm an engineer, you know, and so one of the way how you serve people is to troubleshoot and to explore possibilities, you know. And at the time, I felt like I had this feeling in the arm, I would say like a microscopic feeling that only I could feel, and someone had to give me a chance, you know. So you had to trust me, the client, you had to trust my judgment. And we explored the options and the possibilities to make it work. And they didn't give me that opportunity. And so we got into an argument, and then the situation escalated so much that they had to release me from that hospital. And so they sent me to another hospital. So this was my last opportunity to get the buy-in, I would say, in project management, or the help that I needed, you know. Yeah, and that when I arrived, they looked at it, they started to clean up the wound. And then the guy just said to me that, wow, Mark, you're here for a reason.
Mm.
And because you're here for a reason, I want to share this with you, and just know that you have a bigger purpose in this life. If you came here like 1 minute later, we had no choice but to amputate the arm, because pretty much it has been 24 hours since no one has attended to you. No one has even cleaned the impurities from the wound, you know. And so if you came here like 1 minute later, it would have left us no other choice but to amputate the arm. And hear what? There's an opportunity and you have another chance. So we're going to explore all the possibilities to save that arm, you know, and that's where the restoration and the recovery started. And it was just trial and error in the hospital. It was just people management. It was just working together as a team. You know, it was just empowering each other every day, you know, to make it work. So even though they were the medical experts and professionals, it was pretty much they were feeding off my energy, you know. So every day they see me very optimistic, you know. Every challenge that they pose, you know, I would do it, even if it seemed impossible. So I make the impossible possible every time, you know, and that just keeps the momentum going, you know. And yeah, I was in the hospital like for 6 months, you know, and yeah, I recovered. I could remember at the time my dream job, you know. They came knocking the first time. Within that 6 months, I wasn't able to say yes to them. They say, okay, we'll wait. The second time they came, it was the same thing. But when they came the third time, they couldn't wait on me any longer, you know. So I remember leaving the hospital in a fiberglass cast. So pretty much I started that job with one arm. And then 1 month after that, I started with one arm traveling to other Caribbean islands, you know. I remember, I mean, when it was time to even rent a vehicle, I was so traumatized. I didn't even know how to drive,
Yeah.
you know. So that's it, really, Steve.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. It's definitely resilience. But what lessons did you learn for professional and your personal life?
Yeah, so one of the things that I learned, Steve, is that never give up. I mean, where there is a will, there is always a way, you know. So it doesn't matter how tough the situation seems, just never give up. And one of the things that we have to believe in is the people power, the human power, and the soul power, you know, because you will realize that in this life, you're not here to solve all the problems. Sometimes the universe will create that atmosphere with the human souls that will help you along the way to overcome the impossible.
Yeah. The doctor was definitely a servant, wasn't he? This last doctor.
Yes, yes, definitely.
The power
And
of a servant heart.
the power of a servant heart. I mean, and I can tell you that doctor was just a regular resident medical professional. And even after this, he became a very big consultant in the region from this I would say, situation. So pretty much I don't really want to use this word, but maybe my situation was like a test bed to elevate others.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's the thing about tragedy. You go two ways. Woe is me, or how can I help others? I've just beat the odds. You're minutes away from losing your arm. How can I share that with others? That's what makes you a servant's heart.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I would also say, even for the doctors that I had this big disagreement with, um, there's a lot of kudos that I will extend to them as well, because every situation has its pros and it has its cons. Every situation has its advantages and disadvantages, you know. And so one of the primary positive that I take from this situation is that maybe it was destined for me to meet that guy who actually helped me to recover from that situation. So there had to be an argument for me to go to that place that was able to serve and help me to recover
And
from this situation.
and what's interesting, Mark, that I'm learning from you is it's out of your character to be in a fight, to be argumentative, but your servant heart said, no, I want to fight this.
I
So
want to
I've got to
fight.
argue with him. I've got to take care of that.
Yes.
How much
So
have you changed? Go ahead, finish up.
yeah, so even this is why, because even in what I do on a day-to-day basis, Steve, I mean, persons will say, okay, you're a consultant, or they may say you're a project manager, or you're a training partner, and I don't really use those words. So the words that I use, it's like I'm just a community servant, you know. So there are a lot of times, most of my clients, when they come to me, they all come to me with the problems first. I never ever know what is it that they are going to do. And so I always try to explore, listen to what is happening to them, that connection with the soul, explore the possibilities, the troubleshooting. And then from there, a lot of time that's where the pain points pop up. And that's how I will know how we can work together to deliver value to them. If I'm not able to do it, maybe someone else is able to do it. Oh, I know Steve or something like this. And this is something that I've learned from the situation too. Like, yes, you should have some kind of intent. You must be intentional, but sometimes you should be open to the human souls.
Yeah, love that. I really do, Mark. How much have you changed since this happened?
I wouldn't say that I've changed a lot, but it has
Okay.
enabled my um my focus on what is happening to the human being, what's inside the human being, to be more committed to being a part of the human soul. Because you see, the thing is, Steve, a lot of times we talk about teamwork. It doesn't really happen overnight. I can know you for 15 years. I see you physically, but I don't know you. I'm not connected with you. And I can know you for 6 months, but I'm connected with you.
That's a big message you just said right there, audience. Is building a relationship is so important. Knowing people on social media is not building a relationship. Not saying you have to meet in person, because we're not going to meet in person in the near future. You're in Jamaica, I'm in North California. It just won't happen. But we can build relationships with our actions. And that's what you're saying, right?
Yes, 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 definitely, definitely.
How are you going to serve people now after this experience?
Yeah, so just after this experience, Steve, and in 2020, you know, I said, okay, um, yeah, I just asked myself this particular day, how is it that I can serve? And I say, okay, I have a lot of experience. I have traveled over 30 plus um, Caribbean islands, which would amount to like 19 countries. I was working in the telecommunication space. I was a project delivery manager. So And to go into these different countries, different cultures, different immigration laws, working with different people and delivering all these projects. It will take skill to do this, especially the soft skills, going into different cultures and getting people to do work. Some cultures are more relaxed than some, so I say, okay, how can I help? So I say, okay, I realize that we're dealing with a volatile world, and it's volatile because it keeps on changing. There's digital transformation. Everything is transforming. Every sector that is transforming. Even the podcast sector, the production sector. So I said, okay, there are a lot of complex projects out there, and I believe that a lot of times we're doing projects, but sometimes we're not even confident doing it. So I say, okay, I have a lot of experience working with different people from different cultures and so forth. So I can help people to deliver their complex projects with confidence. And so that's one. And then the other thing I say, wow, all my friends, they call me reason with Mark. They call me the teacher, they call me Einstein. They just see me as this mentor, this life mentor, you know. They say, I mean, whenever you talk to anyone, they are just so inspired. And then the reason behind it, you're this guy who, when someone talks to you, they feel very comfortable and they feel like they can take on all the challenges of this world. So I say, how can I do that? So, okay, the next thing is that I can help people, individuals, I mean, businesses, the community to become more passionate project management professionals, because everything we do in life is project, whether we know it or not. Even the kids in school, they are working on a lot of STEAM and STEM projects. That's project management. You understand? And yeah, this is how I started Econo projects, and what we're about is empowering value creation.
What does the future look like for Mark Burnett?
Okay, so the future for me, Steve, I see myself, traveling the world and sharing my story to empower a lot of people who are voiceless, or a lot of people who need this kind of inspiration to move them forward. So eventually I will write a book, to do this. And also within the Caribbean and extending from the Caribbean, I will help the region to become more aware about the power, the art and science around project management as a life skill, lifetime skill. It's applicable in everything that we're doing. And as you can see, there's a lot of projects happening post-COVID. The world is transforming, so there's a lot of projects. So I can add a lot of value by helping the community to deliver, to bring these projects to life.
You're a blessing. We're getting to the end of time. Any last words you want to leave with somebody that's listening, either to the recording, that's gone through a trauma similar to yours? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I will just tell them, Steve, that we are all going through something. I mean, whatever that thing is. And from my personal experience, I just feel that everyone has their personal journey that was destined for them to be great. And whatever you're going through, it's actually teaching you lessons for you to become that person that will empower your community, empower your family, or empower whatever space that you're in. It doesn't have to be professional. It can just be something social. So whatever you're going through, that was destined for you to learn some lessons, some particular lessons, some life skills that will allow you to empower your inner or outer circle. It doesn't matter where you're from, but that's what I truly believe from
I
my
love that.
perspective.
You know, Mark, you're a true blessing. God bless you. I'm glad you still have your right arm. I'm glad everything, because now you can share this with the world and change other people's lives. And willing to do that is such a powerful, talk about empowerment. You're empowering. So thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome, Steve, and you're doing an amazing work, Steve, in the community. And thank you again. It's just a pleasure for allowing me to share this message with my community and the wider community as well, because I think the world is a community, whether we know it or not. I mean, I'm in Jamaica, you're in the States, but we're just one community.
Amen. Yep, we're all the same. We're human beings. We need to
Yes.
work together, and that's what we're doing. We hope we spread that message out to the world, which we will. Not hope, I know we will. I want to thank you all for listening to Mark's incredible story. Don't forget about my podcast swag, my hats, t-shirts, hoodies, all those different clothing that I have on my podcast notes. You click on the link and share the world with doing business with a servant's heart. Don't forget my TV show every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And I want to thank you all for listening. Take Mark's story, share it with another, and change their life. Me and Mark would be so happy about that. And you all will see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Thank you.